Hi, Jason, Straight Line Performance here. We've got a brand new build that we just finished up that we're going to be putting on the dyno. I want to talk a little bit about it. So it's a build, gentleman's name is Andy Michels, Michels Homes, owner of MESC Snowmobile Series 2. So you got a snow dragger here that is basically going to be a two-stage 850 E-TEC Snow Drag Sled. We've done a few of these in the past now, so this is not our first time doing it. This is a new G5 body style that we've got all set up. These are case inducted straight line nitrous kits. So what we actually do is we take the cylinders, and right below the cylinders we're injecting the nozzle into the case. Some really neat advantages to that is that we don't have to worry about drawing the nitrous in. When you're dealing with the draw of the nitrous, you're only getting so much. So just as a natural aspirated machine, pistons going up and down, it's an air pump, it only pumps so much in there. And we're going to try to make the power we make with these machines, we actually have to force it in. So we get all the nitrous in, and then also during the upstroke of the piston, you're actually going to get a case volume pressure. So we're kind of doing an additional supercharging effect with it. So it's pretty neat. So this one has two case nozzles in it and also has an airbox nozzle. So we have a two-stage built onto these machines. This is basically a complete build of one that we're looking at right here for Andy. It is ready to go on the dyno. Let's talk a little bit about what we've done here. So this has the lightweight front end on it. So what we did is remove the entire factory front end. We put a lower one-piece A-arm, custom billet spindle, and new radius rods for it, along with some minis for snow drag on here, and then changed out the shocks to a lightweight Marvin Shaw style shock. So completely gone through that. In the back, Proline Performance set us up with basically a custom suspension that we've been doing. We've done a few of these builds now, so they are set up. This is a full snow drag suspension roller set up, and what's neat is when you get it built with us set up, we got a little MESC, little triple fest on the rear for Andy right there, so kind of a neat little deal. So we removed the factory brackets there, put our drop bracket in, and mount the skid and set it up just for the snow drag that we're going to do. The track, we've actually cut the track and narrowed it, so we've got two things done. And then we've got Woody studs in there. We've got chisels and triggers all built in. So a combination, depending upon what we have on the field, whether it's powder kind of snow, a hard, we get ice, those things. So we've got a mixture set up. We might add some of the aluminum snow drag studs in here too, depending upon what we've got going on. But right now we're set up this way to race. And with the build here, we do have some new drivers that we've been using from Avid. So underneath, custom drivers here. We'll show you what they look like, but they're designed for all our G4, G5 chassis. Now keep these narrow tracks nice and true and pull straight with the Proline suspension, so we get a nice even stud pattern pull and launch at all times. We've got set up, we've got a lightweight seat base in here. We're actually gonna be doing a custom cover on the seat that we haven't got done yet. Full lowered controls, all set up with the RSI handlebar, grip heaters, bar pad, and then we've got our aim mounted on there too. So nitrous button set up in a location nice and cleanly so you can push it, and a on and off button set up here. So get into the sled here a little bit, I'll show you some stuff here. So inside the machine itself, we've got the muffler that we have is custom, and the single pipe is a stock single pipe but modified for the new horsepower. We also have a O2 in there, a couple EGTs, a pressure sensor, some other stuff that we're going to be data logging when we look at stuff. So we got a custom muffler you can see right here that's set up one of our standard style straight line mufflers with modifications. We've got the bottle mounted right here. We've got two outlet lines set on here, one for each stage. And then we run a standard Milwaukee battery setup to run the power to run the solenoids for the nitrous system. It can also do accessory items too at that point. So real clean install on here and setup. So simple yet effective is what it comes down to. Again, these are serious snow drag machines that we've been building. They are set up, we'll call them the old turbo eater is what you've got right here. So guys are looking for something to compete with them. This setup is an awesome deal. So we've got just about everything set up on here ready to go on the dyno. This is a turnkey unit, basically ready to run. We've got a couple items that we got to finish. We've got to get the dyno set up, clutching set up, and nitrous dialed in, and then we get in the field. So most of that can be done on our chassis dyno, which would be neat. So we'll be able to build this whole machine in-house We'll roll it into the straight line dyno. We'll set it up, bring it back out, and we'll do some infield testing. So let's get it in there. We got some high hopes, but I mean, you're talking, we're going to be in the hundreds of horsepower for this machine. Let's get it in there. Hey, we're in the dyno room here. We got the sled up and running. We want to get some good pulls on it now. We've kind of discussed all the products we've got on there. Andy's sled is definitely going to be one of the top contenders, but we want to get some good time on the dyno, get it dialed in. We've got clutching to set up, and we've got some nitrous to set up. So let's get it fired up, get some good baseline pulls, talk a little bit about them, and then let's make a pull and see what kind of power we're working with. So we'll get up and running here. All right, we made some pulls here. Let's take a look and see what we've got. So the baseline stuff we were running was stock. Now we have some extra clutch weight in this machine because we know we're gonna be running nitrous. So we've got a nice graph. So this gives me an engine RPM and a horsepower here, and they're overlaid by mile an hour. So imagine the clutch itself, I mean, we're starting on the bottom is 0 mile an hour, and the top would be, on this is probably 120, 125 is what it's geared to do. So we're only running out to about 100 to 110. We're not full pushing it, but we're in development mode a little bit. So power-wise, you can see the blue here. You know, that was basically set up with no nitrous. It's a little overloaded, kind of pulling down a little bit of RPM here. We did our first baseline nitrous pull. Comes up, you can basically see where we hit the button. Comes through here, picks up RPM nice and clean through here. And I mean, gains another about 12 to 13 horse over our baseline, which on a chassis dyno you can almost double that. And so when you're looking at these powers here, you can pretty much double those power roughly. I mean, you've got an 80 horsepower stock sled, makes 160, 165 where these things actually need to be. And then we've also got, we're pushing 100, so we're probably close to 200 horse right now with a basic nitrous setup. So let's get into the aim. We're gonna take some downloads, take a look at some settings, take a look at our fuel settings, see where we're at, make some more adjustments, and make some more pulls. All right, we got some downloads done here. We're doing a quick look as we go through here. What we've got is we got 2 EGTs. You know, I think we're running, looks like somewhere in that 1200, pretty close to that, which is pretty good with nitrous. Our AFR is down 12.7, which again, I mean, probably correlates pretty good setup. RPM, you know, looks to be in that 8,000 roughly until we're falling off a little bit. It is definitely going to get rich. We can see that. We can make some adjustments on the clutching, and other than that, I mean, for a baseline setup, which we've done a fair amount of these, it's pretty good right off the showroom floor. So let's get some adjustments on the fuel here and some clutch weight and give her another pass. Cool. So we got some baseline pulls in now in the dyno room. We did a couple that were basically stock, just kind of running it through with no nitrous. We've got some nitrous in it. So let's take a look where we're at for some power here on some good baselines. I'm sure we've got to do some tuning. We'll get some downloads on the aim here. We'll take a look at those and make the adjustments. So let's take a look at it. All right. Been doing some tuning. We're gaining some power, as you can see. Stack. Our first baselines, now we're up in the mid-teens. They're 15, 16 for power. We're kind of dialing it in. I think we really have a few more adjustments, and we're probably ready to go to the field. So in short, I'm going to give this sled a little more push, see what we've got to get out on the stage one we talked a little bit about, and then we're going to get in this field. So let's see what we got for power before we get out. All right, guys. So we've actually got some good poles now. We've been really heavily working on it. As you can see, we are picking stuff up. We ended up right around 126 horse. It's a good baseline for stage one. Roughly 250, 260 horse out of our stage one. There is a lot left in this still. We're looking at the AFR, we're checking our downloads out. The sled's not being pushed very hard right now, so we don't want to do everything in the dyno. You want to get some good passes in the field, but we're very safe, we're very conservative on what this can make just on that, you said, on stage one. So prediction wise, these things are 150, 160 horse to track pretty easily when they're set up. So right now we are running a full track, fully studded, full length. So there's definitely some stuff. I don't like to spin it up high mile an hour when you're dealing with a full snow drag stud setup that we've got on here. So I think our next step up basically is we're going to make some small adjustments, get it off the dyno, and really get in the field and set the skid up, the launch, and get this machine ready to roll. So let's get it out of here and get some tests in the field.